Welcome to the Heart of America Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Media Day. We're excited to be joined by Evangel University here from the Valor as they get ready for the next season. Let's go ahead and meet Josh. Josh, go ahead and introduce yourself. Name, year in school, and hometown, please.
My name is Josh Pritchett. I am a senior and I'm from Rolla, Missouri.
Awesome. Coach, go ahead and introduce yourself, name, and how many years you've been the head coach there.
Yeah, Bert Capel, and last year was my first year, so this is my second.
Coach, let's kick things off with you. Tell us about Josh and his importance to your program.
Yeah, I think if any successful team needs leaders on the team, I think that's the biggest thing for any team. And for us, it's Josh. And it's not just on basketball. I think just in general in the classroom, he does a great job. He takes care of his business. When he works hard, he's a good leader on the court. And so certainly we have a few other guys on the team that have leadership roles, but Josh being one of the longest tenure guys on the team, kind of understands how everything works, what the expectations are. He's done a good job this year, and we anticipate he'll do that way the whole year.
Josh, what is your major, and what are some career plans for you for life after basketball?
I am a physical education major with a coaching minor, so I'm thinking after this that I go into high school coaching somewhere and teaching and go into that route. So
very good. And Josh, you guys have had a few practices so far. I know it's early in the year, but how are things going? And got some new faces. How's practice going so far?
It's been good so far. We've had a couple of days have been iffy, but I mean that's going to come in the early days of practice. But I'm really liking the team, really liking the new guys and everyone coming back. So I think it'll be good for us this year.
And Josh, you were the Heart of America representative for the Email S. Liston Award, and you've done a lot of great things in the community. You're obviously a leader on the team. What did that award and that honor mean to you?
It was definitely something that was greatly appreciated. I tried to do my best to just get out in the community and help. I mean, the Convoy of Hope and some church stuff and all that kind of things. And I think it's just kind of speaks to what we want here at Evangel and going forward through everyone on our team. So it was great to get that award. So,
Coach, in year one, your team had a really successful season. You advanced to the Heart Championship game, advanced to the NAI National Tournament. What did that mean to you to be able to have such a great season in year one?
Yeah, I think anytime you go into a year, you're always hoping for the best. Last year was, my first year, and everything was kind of new and had some new players, and we weren't really sure what the expectations were. And then kind of as the season goes along, we felt like we were really gelling together and playing well. And it was just a matter of maybe keeping that going the whole year. But it was good. I just remember, and I tell the guys this too, I just remember how it was when I played here, the excitement that the school had and the basketball had, and I want them to experience the same thing. And I was glad that we had a couple seniors last year, Cade and Paul, who are 4-year guys, who I really wanted before they left to experience that, and felt like they did. And even the guys this year that returned, we have Ike back for a 5th year for his COVID year, Edriel back for his COVID year. So we got a lot of returners, and hoping that the experience of postseason play and playing tough games and playing games on the road will help us this upcoming season.
Josh, what was that experience like for you? To be able to play in the Heart Championship game, to advance to nationals. How exciting was that?
It was definitely a great time. I mean, we haven't been there for 7 years or something before this last year, and it was something that was really important to us throughout the season, is just trying to do our best and make it as far as we can. And being able to make it down to nationals was really a big deal for us, and it was a fun and good time. So,
Coach, you lost a few impactful players, like you mentioned, bringing in a few new faces. Who are some new players that could impact your team right away?
So we added 3, and in doing so, we tried to be real particular on who it was. We knew we had a lot of guys coming back. Had to replace some really good players, some 4-year starters, and anytime I think you have players that have been here for a long time, they make a big impact. And so when you lose them, those are big holes to fill. And so I think we did that with 3 guys, one of them being, we got 2 transfers and a high school kid, one being from Coppin State, Bryce Hunt. Knowing we were losing a big man, we knew that we needed to replace him, and Bryce is coming in and hopefully going to fill that role for us. We also have another transfer, Brock Smith. He was a jury transfer, and he was supposed to have played with us last year, but he had cancer and chemo treatments, and so sat out last year, and is pretty healthy now and continuing to get in shape. And we expect him to come in and certainly fill a role. And then we got one high school kid we signed, Garrett DeVault from Norwood, just about an hour, east from here in Springfield. 2A player of the year in the state. They won the state championship. So, 3 guys we feel like don't just fit us athletically, but we feel like that they fit the culture here, that they fit in, that they want to be a part of it, that they want to compete, and want to be a part of something we feel like we started last year.
Yeah, Josh, the Heart of America Athletic Conference is, it's very competitive. It's a grind, especially once you get into conference play. What's it like, for you, from your perspective, playing in the Heart night in, night out?
I mean, I think like you said, it's just a grind. You got to be there every night, every day for practice, just getting better and staying in it. You got to stay focused. And I mean, the Heart is a very tough conference, and just having all those high level teams to play against is just, you can't take a night off ever. So.
And Coach, with that grind, again, year 1 last year, but you guys, were able to finish in the top of the Heart South standings, have a great Heart season. With that grind of conference play, how do you keep the team keeping that consistency, right? And staying focused? How do you, reach that with your team?
Yeah, I think first you got to find an identity, and we've established on this team our identity is going to start on the defensive end. And so, knowing that sometimes the offense comes and goes, we just felt like last year the stress was, hey, we got to guard some people. We won a couple games last year shooting in the 20s. Not that you ever want to shoot that bad, but sometimes they come and it's not going to fall. And defense, I felt, kept us in quite a few games last year in order to compete, especially on the road. I mean, they're good teams, like you said. The Heart is really good, very challenging, got some really good players in there. And so I think first of all, kind of figuring out what your identity was. And for us last year, it was just on the defensive end and keeping that going and stressing that and making sure we get those things fixed, and then kind of went to the offensive end from there. But, like you said, it is hard. I mean, last year Josh was out a few games with injuries, had multiple guys that were out either with a COVID situation or injuries or suspension or whatever it was. So it was just a matter of continuing to say, hey, we're down, but next man up. Let's continue to pursue the identity that we have, and we were able to maintain that for most of the year.
Josh, last question for you. You've been a member of the basketball team for a few years now. You've helped kind of build that culture with Coach. What does it mean to you to play for Evangel and have the opportunity to play college basketball there for the Valor?
I mean, it's a great opportunity. It's not a lot of people that get to play college basketball to any level whatsoever. So, I mean, it's definitely an honor. Playing at Evangel is definitely something that's been beneficial to me, not just basketball wise, but also off the court, which has been a big deal with just the community and being a Christian school. And I think that's a big part of just who we are as a team as well, is just kind of getting the guys to fit in with us, and that culture builds itself almost. So it's been a good deal.
Oh, very good. Coach, last question for you. We're asking all the head coaches the same thing. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear Heart of America men's basketball?
So, I mean, I have a little bit of a background with it, obviously playing in the conference. And so I think the first thing I think of right away is the tradition of the conference, how competitive it was, even when William Jewell and Lindenwood and some of these other schools that had moved up Division II. I just remember back then how tough it was then, and then having left and come back, realizing it's just the same. There may be a few more transfers because of the transfer portal and some newer schools that have joined since then. So obviously it's a little different, but it's that same thing. It's a tough conference. Like Josh said, you really can't take a night off. We certainly know that. But just that level of competition and being able to compete. I've always enjoyed it being a player. I enjoy it now as a coach, just understanding that every game you come into, it's going to be a fight for sure. And then just making sure our guys are prepared for that fight. But like you said, I really like the Heart Conference. I've enjoyed especially playing in it, and I'm glad I get a chance to coach in it too and help these guys as well.
Well, great. Coach Josh, thanks so much for your time and best of luck to the Valor this season.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Tyler. We appreciate it.
Yep.